What's up, my fellow flyers? Welcome back again to another episode of FPV RAW. I'm your host here, Ruben Hadegi, and we are at that point where we're starting to get more and more guys onto the show and onto the episode, so they can tell their stories and their adventures and their sponsors, their whatever they want to talk about. This is the spot where they can kick it. They can chill, they can post up, and, this is for them. And on the show today, I got David Foster and Scott Tiller. These guys are from across the pond. They're the ones that are out hunting for drop bears. They're hunting sharks. They're the ones with, the spiders that do cartwheels on the fucking sand and shit. These guys are making wings in Australia. Guys, how are you guys doing today?
Good, mate. Good.
How'd I do
Good, buddy. How are ya?
How'd I do that? That was pretty good?
Yeah. Pretty good.
I hate
I try to wrap it in there pretty good, but I sometimes I just lose track of what I was talking about. I was like, shit, did I go too far? But welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
And for the listeners, again, we were talking about this. What time is it in my time here in the past? It's 7:30. What time is it over there in your neck of the woods?
Yeah,
12:37 in the future.
Tomorrow. So we can give you some lotto numbers for tonight,
okay,
or whatever you need.
I'm going to write them down.
We got it sorted.
I wonder if it can work like that. I wonder if... No, not
maybe.
Not
unless you can build a wing that does 88 miles per hour.
With the big old hook in the back.
Yeah. So now we're showing our age, aren't we?
So what have you guys been up to, man?
Well, today we had a pretty good fly this morning. Actually, we felt good about this because this morning we put 4 batteries through 2 wings. Nothing went wrong. Ooh. Everything came back. We had a great time. It was perfect conditions, and we almost retired there and then, just this morning. Just pack them up, never fly them again. So it's been a good morning, Dave?
Yeah. No, it's always good when you go out and everything comes home in one piece. Doesn't always happen.
Oh yeah. That's usually a good sign of a good day.
Absolutely.
Well, I watched your guys' feed on the Instagram. You guys are doing freaking good on the feeds. I love watching your guys' stuff. And that last one with the winglet just inches away from the camera.
I was coming right into the sun, building up that road, and Dave's. It's weird, isn't it? Because you feel a little bit out of body sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you're flying, and then your buddy's standing on the road saying, and he's maybe about 10 meters away, and he's like, just come down low, come down close. And because the sun had literally just come over the horizon, I hadn't played with my camera settings very much, and it was just this big sort of orange glow.
Oh.
And then at the last second, there's this sort of beast of a man standing to my left. And then when I was gone, and I was like, so I nearly hit him, not on purpose.
Oh, man. Just got to hit the
close.
deck. No, you were pretty low, man.
Yeah, it's a nice flat road. So, yeah. And I'm one of those, I'm going to say right now, I run a Vector in my wing, and I got a Sky Hunter as well. And the primary purpose is because we run trackers, like eagle-eyed trackers, which has just been, we got crosshairs that Dave made and little 1.2 dipoles that we've made. And holy cow, we don't go far. For us, 1.2 is about penetration. But we go down behind, over the other side of trees and scrub and dirt and stuff. And it is such a solid video link. It's incredible. Dave had 5.8 today, and that's pretty good too.
Wow.
But,
so Dave's making the antennas?
Yeah. His our antenna Jesus.
Woo! Dude, you can't
everything.
You can't beat that's good because remember we were talking before chatting back and forth, and we were talking about the shipping, man. If you can do that, whoo, you'd be a savior.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like for me, I'm an RF tech, so I've always got access to spectrum analyzers, things like that. So yeah, it's the beauty with it is I can make something and I can test it, and I know it's on Freak. So it's it's not a store-bought thing that may or may not work. Mm-hmm. It's something that we test, then we go and fly. So it's it's all about trusting your gear and knowing that what you've got's going to work. And yeah, it works.
Well, if it didn't, you'd be in the bushes out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we would. Absolutely. We'd be climbing trees.
You're tackling kangaroos and pulling the wings out of the pouches.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's great, man. I'm glad this all worked out for us, and for like the listeners. We were trying to set the day up and setting up like the time frame and figuring out the numbers, like what time we should start and stop, and if it's too late and if it's too early, stuff like that. And we're playing it safe. We don't have the video playing, so I don't know if it's going to reduce data or however it works, but it's I'm glad we're able to hear each other's voices after talking from the internet and messaging back and forth. I get to hear you guys now.
But it's weird for us because we've heard your voice, so it's like being part of like a choose your own adventure where you get to like talk back to the TV. So it's a little strange. I'll be honest. Anyway.
Well, now you guys got to be part of the TV now. So you guys will have your own segment now, which will be cool.
Nice.
Sure. Now, now starting out the whole flying FPV community, is it relatively big in Australia? Like, is there a lot of guys out there that like to fly?
Yeah, definitely. There's the bigger part of it is definitely the mini quads. Like globally, it's just boomed, and with Chad Novak and whatnot. Like it's Thomas from BMS down in Melbourne. There's a few guys who are pretty popular, and it's the accessibility of it. Yeah. I mean, you can get something, you can bolt it together, solder a few things up, and you can test hover it in your garage or your living room if you want.
Yeah.
Or you can head to the park and you can fly. Like it's relatively cheap. Like now compared to when they all first came out, say 4 or 5 years ago, mm-hmm. or maybe not even that long. So mini quads are huge. And also we got Impulse RC. They're local to Brisbane here.
Oh, wow.
So we've got that community, and mini quads are big. Fixed wing, not so much. So it's one of those things like, Scott's not on Facebook.
Off the grid, man.
Off the grid. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
tinfoil hat.
And all. But yeah, look, I'm part of a few of the they're called FPV groups mm-hmm. on Facebook here. So like your FPV Australian, FPV Queensland, and 99% of it is all just mini quad stuff. So
gotcha.
Like I'm constantly spamming it with whatever wing stuff I can get on there, whether it be short little video clips or just a photo of a wing at sunrise.
Yeah.
Just trying to break it up and spark some interest. And I think a lot of them are interested, but it's probably the availability and also the ease. Mm-hmm. So like I said, mini quad, test fly it. Anywhere. You can go and fly it anywhere. Whereas with a wing, you need some space.
Yeah.
So, a lot.
You should
a lot
use
go wrong.
space.
Well, that's right. You should. We're pretty much, I'd say, like I'm almost on the overcautious side of things. Like we generally get way out of the city to go and fly.
Mm-hmm.
Because we like to stretch the legs a bit and have a bit of fun, and it's all about safety as well. Like we trust our gear, but they're electronic parts. Things can go wrong. So worst case for us is if we hit a kangaroo. We're not dive bombing a wing into a childcare centre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's being responsible, doing the right thing, and yeah. So yeah, no, it is big. Definitely mini quads, and we're definitely trying to promote the fixed wing side of it, and get a few more people interested.
Man, I really hope so. Just getting the fixed wings out there and having so much land that's out there, and so much of the landscape is just really, like, it's beautiful, like along the coast, along the hills. It's beautiful landscape out there. And from what I see in National Geographic, man, it looks pretty beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the best parts.
Exactly.
Also,
so look, we're lucky, man. Like, 45-minute drive from here, and we're driving up. There's a place called Bribey Island. So it's 45 minutes from here. You cross a little road bridge, and then you're driving on the beach. You got the open ocean on one side. We got some of the best beaches in the world. So I think a little while ago I posted that little video of the jug. Yeah, just heading straight out. That was like at sunrise, and we got some nice spots.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see the water and just coasting out there. Now, if you were to go down out there, would you have to like rent a boat, or because you ain't going in the water, right? There's some big old sharks out there, right?
Oh, nah. Like, you could go in the water, but like, to be honest, by the time, like, I think on that run, I was going for like nearly 2 minutes. So you're not going to swim out like a couple of kilometers. It would have been gone. But again, it's getting back to trusting your gear. Yeah. Like, I've flown that thing so many times. You trust your gear. You know the gear works. You know your RC link is solid. You know your video gear is there. So you can do that sort of stuff. And then, once you do trust your gear, it all comes down to risk and reward. So more than happy to punch out, a couple of meters sitting off the deck of the ocean and get some sweet video. Oh, yeah. And it is. It really is. Well, I'm glad you guys are having a blast out there. I love watching your guys' feeds. Scott's got the 4x4 crawler. Oh, yeah. It's terrible. Another rabbit hole.
There's always something. Yeah, buy this cheap. I rang my local shop, and I'm like, so I'm looking for like a second-hand truck. And he goes, I just had one come in today. I'm like, I bet you did. He's got a big pile of them out the back that he's been just waiting to get rid of. Yeah. It's fun. Like, you can't crash it, and it's different to a plane. Yep. You cry over bent foam and stuff. A truck, you just kind of buy some parts or bend stuff back into shape, and you move on, and you can have 2 hours of fun in half a tennis court down the river, sitting in the sun. So it's just something different. Yeah. And going back to what Dave was saying about the gear, like, I think back to when Dave and I first started about probably 4 years ago, and you go through that phase where we pretty much started on Bixlers, and then multi-rotors made from wood that we bought from our local hardware store, and Sunny Sky motors and things like that, and just KK2s, and just having a really good time watching these little creatures, actually get in the air for more than 2.5 minutes. And then we pilot them, and then they crash amazingly. But thinking back to when we were flying anything, we're always like getting the second cheapest thing. And I know how everybody feels about Hobbyking, but without them, there's no way Dave and I would probably still be in this hobby, because they've got things that get the job done on the day. And then even like we played around with the APM a lot. APM probably clones mostly as opposed to the actual 3DR one. And we just had such mixed like results where things could be fantastic, and then you take it home, bring it back to the field a week later after sitting on your shelf and power it up, and it's just not doing things. It's we got a couple of guys that are like APM whisperers that they can make them do whatever they want, and they're perfect. So then we're doing that, and that's crashing things, and we're buying cheap servos, and we're flying on 2.4, and we're doing this and we're doing that. And it must have been about pretty much when the Eagle Tree Vector came out, and we just turned this corner and we got into vectors and easy UHF. And holy cow, it just became about 1 billion times easier, and every time you meet someone, they go, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it's like, how high will they go? And the first thing you want to do is buy the cheapest thing they can find on Banggood. And it's like, okay, well, when you're picking it up in pieces, you're going to have to spend the good money eventually. And that's probably what I try and say to everybody is just take someone's advice who you know and trust and just spend large straight off the bat on something that's sensible and something that they've got 5 airframes that are proven that it actually works.
Yeah, yeah.
And you end up in a really good place. And we got one dude, Shane, you might be listening. He rolled in. We picked him up on Instagram, basically.
Okay.
Like Tinder. We picked him up on Instagram.
Yeah, we troll Instagram looking for dudes.
Yeah, looking for dudes.
You want some candy? Hop in the Instagram truck.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's flying like Futaba and I think 5.8, and that was all doing all fine for him. He got one of those FX79 Buffaloes. It's like a big. It's a beast of a thing. And he launches it like the world shakes and stuff. And he was doing all right. And I think he's running like a OSD, the Storm, Cyclops Storm, good flight controller, does the job.
Uh-huh.
And then he started flying with us, and like within sort of 2 months, he spent, I don't know, $1,000 on, UHF stuff and cameras and motors and props and blah, blah, blah. And the dirty dog has never lost anything. He's never had any real big crashes. He's just ridden this nice silk carpet all the way through because... And he changed over to 1.2 because he took advice from people that kind of had already done everything stupid possible, and that's when the problem with the internet is there's so much misinformation. People are out there reading and just typing it back out again and not really knowing. There's a lot of people that aren't actually experienced. If these guys like a couple of guys you've had on, they kind of took on FPV like out in the middle of nowhere, like yourself, and you get to learn all that for yourself. And we were pretty lucky that we were in a time where there was enough people around us. And also Dave and I are both, like Dave's an RF tech, I'm a radio tech. I kind of understand things, a little bit of the black magic, and that helps a lot. But there's guys out there that just don't know, and they just throw money at stuff and scratching their heads. And it's hard to, you go on about it. There's all hype and people saying this is the best and that's the best. And, Dave and I built a lot of like foam board Versa wings. The flight test guys are pretty much 2/3 of why we're here because they made it accessible without, costing an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff that I was trying to tell, especially for new flyers who don't have the experience, who will more than likely crash the hell out of their rigs, who will more than likely strip. So, like my point was to, back, when you do first start, and I like messing with Hobbyking just because they're a big company and it never hurts for us to give little jabs at them. Because
they deserve it, mate.
Well, it keeps them, it's because they have cheap parts, which is really good. And they have a variety of parts. Like they have high-tech brand that they resell. They have all these other knockoff brands that they resell. And so these other companies like high-tech or whatever companies that they have, they sell them on their site too. So, they're helping them out. Like Steve from Hovership, like they sell his X Pro, his GoPro protector. Like they buy it from him and sell it on their store. So like that to me, that's pretty cool. But at the same time, I like giving them little jabs here every now and then, just because it's fun. But for guys starting out, I don't see an issue for them to kind of start with like the cheaper parts. Because if they strip out like a $20 servo, they're gonna be devastated. It's better for them to start with like like the little $9 cheap 9-gram servos, the real $6 ones, and let them beat that up. And then when they graduate, go get the KISS ESC, get the Cobra motor, get the whatever ESC they want, and because they've graduated into that realm of a higher grade material.
And let's be honest, like everyone who starts, and even experienced guys, I mean, you still have crashes. Like, so whether you're a new dude and maybe you've just got like a Tech Sumo, or one of the big ones that that I push as well is not that I've had one, but just because of the general feedback in the community is those Banggood reptiles. Like, I know you got one, Ruben.
Yes.
And like I get dudes messaging me and whatnot, asking, when can we get a wing kit and stuff. And the first thing I ask is, have you built one and have you flown much? And if the response is no, generally I'll say, look, get one of these reptiles or get a Texumo or something pretty cheap, because you will destroy it.
Yep.
You will. That's reality. And so yeah, absolutely agree with what you're saying. Start off with something that you can learn on.
Yeah.
And once you work out how to build, and that's another point. Again, getting back to Australia here. So, with me starting to cut wings, the whole point was shipping. Like you touched on earlier, is a killer. To get anything from the States is like $100 US. It's just nuts. You want a couple of
we would have owned jugs each, probably 2 years ago if it wasn't for the damn shipping.
Yeah. So shipping is crazy. So the whole point was, I thought, all right, let's see if I can cut something. Let's see if we can make something that actually flies well. And it's going to be local, for the local market. The biggest difference is most of the people who are after a wing here are mini quad pilots, and there's a huge difference between assembling a mini quad, which comes, some nicely cut carbon bits, some screws, standoffs. There's a bit of soldering, which is a skill which you need to learn if you're going to do this hobby.
Oh yeah.
But essentially, you're assembling something that's nicely pre-cut. You get an EPP wing, and you go from assembling to building. And people who haven't built a wing before might not sort of grasp the whole concept. But you're gluing things, you're cutting things. Something that you've just put a couple of $100 into to get sent over, and comes in a nice little box, and you've got all the bits and pieces, and all of a sudden, you're making decisions on where you're going to cut a hole and how you're going to run a cable. So, it's an art. I remember the first EPP wing that I got. There was a company down in Sydney. I think it's off the edge, OTE wings. We had them cut a couple of wings for us and send them up. And I'd never laminated before. So, jump on Google, have a look, because, there's Google for everything these days. I thought I was, okay with it, and I pretty much melted the whole front leading edge because, you just, until you've done it, you don't know.
Yeah.
And, I get back to it's that difference between assembling something and building something. So for me, if you've never done it before, get something that's easy. So the reptile, you glue it together, you put things in, because it's got all the bays there ready, right?
Yep.
So, it's good. You fit it out, you get some servos, motor, happy days, and you go fly it and you crash it. And then, you learn how to repair it, if it's repairable. Being EPP, they're pretty hard to destroy completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once you've done that, or even, the Texumo, it's a good little wing. And that's a good starting point to learn the art of building and your layout and even CG, because that's another huge thing. Like mini quads, you don't need CG; they just beat the air into submission. You can have it. CG helps obviously if it's a nicely balanced little mini quad. It'll fly better, but it's not the difference between it flying once or just flying badly. So. It's an art and it's a skill, and you're not going to get it right on your first one. So my biggest suggestion to the dudes who send me messages is go get something cheap. And when, and send me questions if you got any questions on how to put things together or whatever. I'll flick your links to the jug builds or the Team Legit builds or, any of the right wing stuff. There's heaps of build videos out there. But, start with something that's cheap, easy, that you're not going to have a huge emotional attachment to. Once you feel comfortable, then invest in something new.
Yep. That's the key right there. That's the key right there. It's the sad truth. I mean, a lot of guys, they see the biggest, coolest thing, with the hype, and it's like, guys, don't thrash your hopes and dreams just right off the bat. You got to start. You got to start on the ground. You got to crawl before you can walk. And when you get to the walking port, you can basically do whatever you want, go whichever route you want to go. So you definitely got to learn.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like Scott touched on before, like we started off doing scratch build, like the FPV 49 by Trond FPV, I think is the dude's name.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Man, that thing, it's a KFM airfoil, simple, like 6 layers of foam. He's got the plans up on his website. It's just, I think you guys call it Dollar Tree board or Dollar Foam, or
the Dollar Tree foam board.
Yeah, that stuff. So like, for $10-$20 worth of foam, you got something, and man, it flies really good. Yeah. Like that was the first. Well, I made a few of them. One of them,
55, I think, or a 52. That thing went for ages and smashed through trees and destroyed servos because it was just such a beast.
Yeah, well, one of them I needed like 400 grams of lead in the nose to get CG right. So it was, yeah, exactly. But what it ended up with was, like almost like an armored nose. So like this thing, I think it weighed, was maybe like 3.5 kilos. So what's that?
Yeah. Is that the black one I've still got like in my graveyard here?
No. So that one, that one I pushed out to 20 Ks. So like 20 Ks out and back with $20 worth of foam board. And again, like, the airframe itself is one thing, but the rest of it's, the radio gear, the video gear, all that sort of stuff. So again, like it's not like we just slapped it together, chucked it in the air and off you go. Like there's a lot of testing and making sure your fail-safes are right and endurance testing locally, all that sort of stuff. But the black one, so that's a KFM airfoil. Not they're not the most efficient, but that thing went out 20 Ks and back. But this other one with the 400 grams of lead in the nose, man, I hit a tree, and the tree trunk would have been 2 inches thick, or the branch, sorry, and it cut it straight in half.
Oh, man, Jesus!
But. There's not that emotional attachment. That was one of my learning.
Yeah, to the tree.
Well, poor tree. But like we've done the FPV 49s, which I just extended it out for the size of the foam board, so they ended up a little bit bigger. But like blunt nose Versa wings. It's just whatever to just learn and to get into
and have fun. Hey, like
absolutely.
The whole wing racing is awesome. Like when Dave and I fly, like we watch the dudes, guys that Hugo and that, and like the rumor has it their throttles aren't switch, and holy shit, those dudes, like Formula One drivers. But Dave and I are more like Ryan. You talking to Ryan before? Talking about cruising on 60 amps? You're freaking crazy. Like 8-minute flights off 1 billion milliamp, like. Dude, it's unacceptable for us because we just don't fly that fast. But we just cruise and have fun. And every time we fly, we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And you can see so many people, even just through Instagram and stuff. It's like, it's got to be a race wing. I'm holding my fingers up, inverted commas. It's got to be race. It's got to be race. And recently we've both been getting into, like Dave got his that Raven thing, and I got a Sky Hunter with a head tracker. I can put the Sky Hunter up for an hour and 10 minutes. And actually, it's like being in an aircraft because you can get up and enjoy. And that's what you say about being Superman, you're cruising, and you're there. And so in an aircraft like this, you're still doing everything legal, but you're going across a creek line and you're counting cows and you're looking at that and you're looking at this and you're flying with your buddy. You're looking out over the wingtip and there's your buddy's playing. You know that he's looking back at you and doing it together as opposed to just
looking lovingly into each other's
yeah.
And just on that, like, there's like in Australia, like I said, the wing side of it is pretty small here at the moment, and I know in the States there's a lot going on, like with the racing and
The FPV RAW and that.
Yeah, like all that sort of stuff. But even like Ruben yourself, like always sort of pushing, the whole Red Bull racing and giant wings and like, man, that would be so cool. And an extra dimension on that is a little pan tilt head tracker unit. Like, have you ever done it? Have you ever put pan tilt on a wing?
I have not. I have the unit in the drawer, but I've never really taken the time to kind of mess with it. I don't know.
Even just a pan, being able to, if you're flying side by side with your buddy, you're really flying. Like today we were not racing, but we did last batch. It was just like flat out, like I don't know. I was pulling a whole 27 amps, man. Yeah, really sick. But anyway, we're doing 120k an hour, and there's belting on this road. You come around this turn, you think, where is he? Is he inside? Do I go high? And it's not because I want to beat him, but because I don't want both of our aircraft wrecked in the ditch.
Yeah.
But to be able to just tilt your head and look over and go, oh yeah, there he is, and just that extra element of immersion, like that's what it's pretty good. It's got to be done at least once in your life, and then you probably do it every time.
I bought the pan and tilt, man. I probably bought it 2014. I kid you not, it's still in the package. I bought it because it looked like a cool idea, but I was like, I was having too much fun of just keeping it simple and like when you do crash, and because back then I was kind of still I was crashing and building and crashing. I didn't want to wreck it, and I was like, man, I don't want to mess it. And then like I could probably do it now with like my bigger Dread has 2 cameras on it, and one's a night vision camera and the other one's like a daytime, and it's on a switch. But I'm sure I can just like pop a little hole and put in the servos.
Absolutely,
it drops right in.
Done. Yeah, you just use like a Hobbyking, sell a couple of good little 9-gram Metal Gear servos, and all you do is just, your cameras all come like on a little bracket, so you just put your horn on your servo, like sort of left to right, and just sort of cable tie your bracket down on that, and then you put your camera in, like how the mini quad guys mount, and then if you nose in, the cable ties just fold back, and you're not really going to sort of destroy stuff, and it takes up little space, and you don't really need tilt when you're sort of just belting along. Yeah. You know where the ground is,
Yeah.
You just want to know where your buddy is, so you're not sort of belting into him.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool for like if you, let's just say if the racecrafts do get to that point where they're big, and then you have a pan and tilt where, say, the audience can operate the pan and tilt. So, they're like looking at the other racers like, oh crap, number 11's like right on your left wingtip, like go faster. And, having that ability for, spectators and bringing it to the masses and keeping them intrigued.
Yeah.
But
they probably do it with the NASCAR. They have like a camera that can, it must be controlled by a studio somewhere, but they rotate it around, it goes past his helmet, and it follows the dude coming up his inside line, as it goes round.
Like, I know they can do, like there's got to be a way we can do that for us. Like, because that's their tech that they haven't showed to us, the public.
Yeah.
So it's like, that'd be so freaking cool to see. And think of the video, like that rolling pan, just so smooth or whatever, and it's just it's clear. It's good video.
Could you imagine like 3 80-inch wings just coming belting around that last turn under that sort of blow up thing, and they just hit, and the crash of 3 80-inch wings just cartwheeling across the line, it'd be absolute carnage. It'd be so good.
Well, people do like crashes. They love crashes.
They do.
That's right. That's why they go to NASCAR and everywhere else. That's motorsport.
Yeah, it's human nature. We like destruction.
Yes.
Except when it's our expensive aircraft.
Yeah. Although, having something in sync, like watching the the U.S. or like the Navy, or for us, we have the Blue Angels or the Canadian. I think it's the Canadian Snowbirds or something. Like they have their own.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the other organizations are, but when they fly in a pack and it's synced, you're like that's majestic as hell. You're just like, holy crap, that's beautiful. So there's a positive, and we're like, but when they crash, you're like, oh shit, that was amazing, but damn.
Someone's dead.
As long, yeah, well, I was gonna say, as long as no one died.
Yeah, no, as long as no one died. But like these are remote,
bouncing down the track and whatever else. But
yeah, like these are remote. Like if they had like a system where it was like automated, you get like 6 automated large wings to fly in a pack, that'd be freaking cool.
Yeah, definitely. Although there's not really sort of, well, there is no racing or the likes with wings over here, but I've still got a few blocks of foam, and it pretty much daily, it's on the back of my mind. I'm pretty keen to cut out about 5 1.8 meter wings and fit them all out with at least 6S. And there's probably 4 or 5 dudes that I'm comfortable that I would hand it to. And like the spot that we flew this morning, like we're saying, Scott, it's like a natural racetrack. You've got, barriers of tall trees. You've got other tree lines. You've got roads. And
there's no other human being within 3-5 kilometers.
No, exactly. So you've got the space. You're not annoying anyone, and get out and even get a few dudes with like Mavics and stuff and set them up on corners and like film it properly and make a proper spectacle out of it. Like, and then give it to someone who can edit video because I'm shit. but get some 6S, get some big wings and get them out there and sound like even with our little ones today. Like we run 4S. I think I've got a 1390 kV 2814 Cobra on mine, and like you give it gas like just before you throw on launch, and you can just hear it echo through the forest.
Oh,
like, imagine some.
You can feel it in your knees and stuff.
Freaking magic! Freaking magic! Yeah. Well, I had like 5 dreadnoughts that I wanted to build, and it was last year, and we had Merrill and I were talking about this, and we were gonna get Hugo to fly all like at least 3 dreadnoughts, 4 or 5 dreadnoughts in drone worlds to show people what these massive birds would look like. And Merrill had 2 done, but we never flew them. He had a response to respond to some. His kid had some issues, and so he wasn't able to go. But like the idea was to do that in front of everyone, to show them. And so that never worked out. And so Hugo and Merrill have theirs, and you'll see them on their page. But like the idea was to kind of just get these big wings and fly them together in a pack, just to show people, show them like this is what it looks like, guys. Like this is focus your attention. Stop looking at your phone. Look up in the sky and look at these big birds. And like they just sound so aggressive. And like that's the whole point. And it never panned out the way I wanted it to. But for me to build 5 dreadnoughts takes a lot of energy out of me, and 5 motors that are super expensive, and ESCs that are over $100 a pop, and batteries that are, oh god, it was a lot of money for me to do that, and a lot of work. So
for a maybe,
yeah.
We'll try to get attention of a bunch of mini quad pilots.
But like you were saying, like over in Hawaii with that 12S beast of yours, like you punch that, and like everyone would just stop and look. Like you can't not. It's intimidating, and it's not a little high pitched mini quad that goes tearing past that you sort of can't see. Like you hear the thing and you look up and you'll see it.
Well,
and you hear them forever. Like mini quads go zip zip zip. Even our wings, you can hear them like the other side of the field. They just resonate.
Yeah. Well,
they sound good.
You figure, like, I didn't really get a large response from the 12S or the Dreadnought. And even at the event, it looked cool. But as far as like promoters or people interested in the sport, and growing the sport, I got nothing. And which is just odd. And maybe
Mate, you should have told them that you had to flash the ESC and, you're getting desync issues and all the other stuff. That might get their attention because apparently if it's a really fucking painful thing to do, your teeth's more popular.
Well, I'm like, look, guys, this is, you can put a freaking multiple selfie cameras on here. You can do a freaking, put your wife's or your mom's face on the back end of it and do a vlog on the air. Just something so freaking strange to get somebody's attention, which was it was just really strange for me. Like, I'm like, guys, this is the possibility. It works. Now let's get the ball going and get, more people on board to get it going. And, it happened in this October of last year, and we're in April and nothing. Like, I haven't seen any traction. So,
well, I think with the FPV WRA and things like that. I mean, the work that's going in, within that organisation to get like an established league,
a formula.
And also I think they're doing the right thing by coming up with the spec wing. So again, it's like any car racing. Like you've got parameters that you've got to keep your machine within, and then it comes down to drivers. So it's all got to start somewhere, and everyone pretty much everyone whinges about almost every single big mini quad event, like Dubai and like just everywhere. There's heaps of hype about it and heaps of talk about money being thrown around and all the rest of it, but none of them. It's almost like it's all been rushed. And that's probably also part of the speed in which the technology is rolling out, because it's all happening so quick and everyone's trying to jump on board, and you've got all the sponsored pilots, and then dudes are trying to make living out of it, and the mini quad stuff is really snowballed, and there is so much potential. Like you keep banging on about, like they're flying billboards. So for any sponsors, any companies that want to actually advertise, like that's it. Like every time you see one cross the start line on a new lap, you're seeing your name as a company. So the potential's definitely there, and I guess it's baby steps. So in the next maybe couple of years, like if it rolls through, and even who was it? One of your podcasts, might have been Ty, one of them with the NASCAR track.
Yep,
hiring the NASCAR track out.
Why?
And doing
why from FPV podcast?
Why
an L one?
But doing like a team event with pit stops and stuff like that. Like the potential is huge, but it's fortunately, majority of the people involved with this, it's their time and their money, and until companies actually step up and say, you know what, we're going to invest some money in this because we see a future. Unfortunately, you're relying on volunteers, and there's a lot of dudes with a lot of good intentions, and they use as much of their spare time as they can. But we've all got jobs, we've all got families. So, then comes down to priorities to try and juggle. But, there's got to be a future in it because it's cool.
Oh, there is. I think it's just getting the masses to kind of get on board.
Yeah, absolutely. And some money.
The sponsorship doesn't necessarily have to be like purely RC either. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with like the BattleBot series, it was big in the 80s and it came back over the last 2 or 3 years. And when you see like, this is Sobot, Killer Strike, whatever, and his sponsors are often like, software companies, and, it could be an oil company. It could be mum and dad's milk bar down the corner and things like that. The sponsors can be unrelated to RC. It's nice to have that in there, but they don't have to be RC related. Anything that's sort of on that edge of technology can be. You go get some money off them and say, "Look, give me a massive sticker and $200, and I'll buy the motor and I'll buy the servos, and you own 2/3 of the plane," sort of thing. So It could be that easy.
Just little stuff, and then the more sponsors you have, the more ability you have to kind of like work with what you got. You're like, okay, this segment here is for you, and this segment is here for you, and then it all adds up. Then you have enough money for like, a place to stay or some food or whatever. But
yeah, and then you got to win, of course. That's the down part.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Well, if you do win, yeah, it's good. But just getting the billboard out there at an event is even more of a key, more of a challenge, because yes, you made it to the finals. You're still there. You're still in the air, and you're making history because you're at a relatively beginning sport. Like, you were there. If you just truck along and keep going, you're going to get better, and your day will finally, come to you. That's just how it works. But I mean, it's everyone's a winner in my book. Just keep
it's hard, isn't it? Because like, as far as racing goes, I think that I don't want to sound like I'm 43 years old and I'm a grumpy old fart, but I am. But I know. It's why you get along with me so well. But like most of the mini quad guys, they're kind of younger, and you can see that lifestyle is so good. You hook it up to your backpack and you jump on the train to the other suburb or whatever, and you can fly, and you can buy a battery when you're on the sly for $15 and have a great time. So, like Dave was saying, for that person to fly a wing in a safe environment, somewhere where you can, like, it's just so relaxing to be out of town and just let it rip and not give a shit, and these guys can't do that. So until there's an organisation here in Australia, which personally I find I don't know if I'd ever enter, because I've been at fields with 3 or 4 other dudes. Like Dave and I, just as soon as we sort of started flying, we just went, what are we doing? Like, what's your frequency? What's your frequency? And we worked it out. And like, we never ever have any video issues. There's only 2 of us. Yeah. But you've only got to bring a third person in who's using. Like, I've listened to conversations between 2 other dudes using 5.8 and going, well, I'm on channel this and I'm on channel that. You try to explain to them the basics behind the little chart that came with the transmitter. Isn't always going to be the truth. You can have harmonics, you can have spilling over here, and that $15 transmitter, it's probably going to be junk, and so you're kind of ruining everybody's day. And to see that sort of stuff happen at an event and hear about it, like, it's really off-putting. So when you see like the black sheep guys are sort of, it seems to me, even though I'm not on Facebook, but I read enough and watch enough, that they kind of copped heat because they're like, here's this transmitter, let's all run it. And that idea of trying to kind of manage, we know these are clean. We know these will do what they do. We know if you're on that channel, you'll be good. And that's probably the biggest issue, is getting people into a safe environment and getting people with gear that, and it's like a little bit of, information beforehand saying, when you bring your mini quad or when you bring your wing, you will be asked to put this in your aircraft. Yeah. And it's almost like people turn up and went, well, no one knew about this. And that's going to really sort of, before anybody's even throwing a plane up, everybody's kind of pissed off. And there's no good flying when you're pissed off. Because you're just going to get more pissed. You get a crash, you're going to be really pissed off, and that was a shit event, blah, 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 blah. So,
well, that's what happened in New York. They made us, well, some of the people that they gave the transmitters to who qualified, they gave them and sent them the tramps, the immersion RC tramps. And then when we were there, because I qualified like the weekend before the actual race, I didn't get one yet, and so I had to install it right then and there at the event. And just I think having a quick plug on these transmitters, like just a regular servo connector with like ground power and video, and then just have like a prong that can just plug into the OSD. Like on mine are all set, so all I got to do is put the transmitter, the servo plug is just, that's all it is, and I just plug into the RVOSD or the RROSD, and then I have, it's all done. Like, I don't have to do anything. So, and doing that, and then everyone has their own system, and then like they got to break apart the mini quad and desolder all the crap, and it's just, it takes time at the event, and you're wasting valuable time. I guess a universal mechanism would be nice.
But aside from racing, I mean, it is a little bit disturbing to think that sometimes I think that people are forgetting how much fun it is to fly, because it's freaking fun, isn't it? Like this morning, we were all like, chest bumps, like, and just the sun had gone up, and we were packing up, and we were going to the cafe we go to all the way every time. This coffee and this pie, and it's like that feeling of, especially like it's really grassroots for us because Dave's built our crosshair antennas. Dave's built our planes. I don't build. I just cry and cry and cry. and finally Dave just hands me a wing and I stick my vector in it. He's just such a good guy. But, and we just get up and we have a good time, and you're in there with that guy that takes his dirt bike out, and you're in there with the guy that goes and shoots hoops with his other buddies and stuff. And just, I reckon the biggest thing to do is just find one or two people that you can just enjoy being with, for starters, and enjoy flying with. And it just makes flying just such a good, fun, healthy sport. We used to go camping a lot. We'd go away, Friday night, put up a tent and stuff and have, a few drinks and wake up in the morning. Well, we go for a dawn session. It's pretty hard to get up when you've had a great night, as we get older. But
yeah,
you got to make, I reckon you got to make more of flying than just flashing ESCs and firmware and blah, 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 blah. There's plenty of guys I know my age don't have any hobbies. They're sad, Ruben. They're sad human beings.
Oh, man.
All they do is they go to work. The 3 kids are draining them of their funds and their life force, and they got nothing to look forward to. And I meet so many guys that start flying, and they're like this. I've taught about 4 dudes to fly through buddy boxes, and they're like children. They're like, oh, my God, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And next thing they're buying Bixlers and buying the thing you didn't tell them to fucking buy and crashing it and shit, but it's all good and well to race them. But sometimes it's so nice just to sit back, like watch the sun just rise, over the leading edge of your buddy's wing. And here we go, we're hugging again. Just having a good time, having a bloody good time doing it instead of focusing on how hard it can be because you're pushing it too hard.
Yeah, memories, man. You can't beat those memories, man.
No.
And getting more people into the hobby is what makes it fun for everyone. Because some people you would have never known who are really interested in flying, because they don't know what's really out there. And then you show them, and like guys that are your age, they can relate to a conversation that you have with them. Then they can relate with me or a younger guy, to start up a conversation.
See what you did there. Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
You old timers.
like you would be able to relate, and start because they see you. They're like, wow. It's like, me talking to another guy my age and say, hey, do you see the new movie of, whatever? And oh yeah. And it had a drone in it. And he's like, oh yeah, I've seen that on YouTube or whatever. They're like, yeah, man, it's this is what it is, and here's a link, and it's soon enough they get interested, and it just starting a connection and network to get more people involved, and finding more people in your area, and then hopefully it grows.
Even just normal line of sight flight is good for people. Like I used to fly with a kind of like a club / organisation, and there was old guys there that if they dropped their car keys, they couldn't see them on the ground, but they could put this plane upside down and inverted and round, and their fingers were good and stuff. You look at things like, again, because I'm sort of thinking ahead, Alzheimer's and stuff, but keeping the mind working and flying and socializing. And there's a lot of sad dudes out there that all you do is you go to your local, try and find a field that's not full of other sad, grumpy dudes.
Yeah.
And you can have a good time just with a Radian. A Radian's a $200 plane out of the box. That's another aspect of flying. Doug and I fly, another dude that we fly with a bit, and we're just sitting back, with our corn pipes and our rocking chairs, just watching these gliders sort of sit around, and you can catch up and you can chat, And flying is, for us, we love our wives and kids, but you need a break, and it's super therapeutic, It's like surfing, or I did a lot of mountain biking up until I had till we had our daughter, it just becomes harder. And flying is like that. You're focused on the moment. You're thinking about, I don't want to crash. I'm trying to chase my buddy. And it's escaping. And it's not, you're not doing crack and you're not drinking heaps of alcohol.
Yes.
And you're just doing something that takes you out of your space in the rest of the world. Even if it's for 8 minutes at 60 amps, it's still 8 minutes of your own. You know, it's good. It's good. It's got to be done. People don't do it enough. They get stuck in their jobs and they don't get out and visit the real world.
That's what it's about, man. Dave, are you still there?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
There you are.
Well, it's funny because, like, talking about getting you guys into it, look, that's effectively how I got into it. So, Scott and I had a mutual friend.
Hang on. He's going to blame me. But he was already a junkie in the gutter. I just gave him a clean needle. So stand down, buddy.
Yeah, it's well known amongst anyone who flies or comes in any sort of contact with Scott that he is the sole reason that we're all broke. But going back, so like the way I got into it, we've got a mutual friend, and we all went camping up the beach, 4 years ago, whatever it was, and I've met Scott before, but we'd never, we didn't really know each other all that well. So anyway,
we played like 2 games of soccer together or something. So that was
something like that. And so anyway, we rock up on the beach, and he pulls, what was it, the penguin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a penguin, fin-wing penguin.
Okay. Yeah, so pulls a penguin out, and like I'd never done any fixed wing RC. Like I know a lot of the dudes that you get on here, they talk about doing it as a kid with their dad and all the rest of it, and like that's not me. But I saw this plane, and I've always been interested in planes and helicopters, whatever else, and so I saw it, and I knew it was a remote controlled plane. He throws it up, and he's got his screen and a set of goggles sitting there. I'm sort of going, what's this? And he's like, well, there's a camera on there, and it's transmitting video, so it's like you're sitting on the nose. And he gave me the goggles, and I looked in it, and where we were, it's called Rainbow Beach. It's a pretty famous sort of beach
dunes and points and stuff, and
so like it's pristine, it's beautiful, it's straight across from Fraser Island, which is like the biggest sand island in the world. It's so location is just spot on. Wow. And here I am with a set of goggles for the first time, sitting 150 meters up, overlooking
120. Let's be fair.
Sorry, 120, which is the legal height.
399 feet.
Hint, nudge.
Yeah. But yeah, like I've strapped these goggles on, and all of a sudden, like you say, I'm Superman. I'm looking down the coast. They call it Rainbow Beach because the sand dunes are all different colours. So like there's reds and whites and silvers, and so I've got the sun gleaming off that. I've got the beach rolling in. It's a beautiful day, and that was it. Like he said, he's just handed me a needle. So lift up the goggles. It's like, all right, where do I get this? And how much is it going to cost? Well, I didn't even ask how much it was going to cost me. I was just like, where do I get this? So,
and I handed him a card for a good divorce lawyer. You'll need that too.
Pretty much. But yeah, so that was it. So, Hobbyking, Bixler 2, a 9X radio. Something, just super simple as a starter.
You're in the air for like $200 or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. And, the very first time I flew it, I built it up and I was ready to go, and I checked the surfaces, obviously not properly because I needed to reverse one of the servos. So I've thrown it up and it's rolled to the right. So I've given it a little bit of left, but it's pushed it more to the right, and it's nosed in and destroyed itself. So, pretty much straight back inside, back on the computer, ordering my next one. But that's how I got into it. So it's exposing people to it, and like you say, like when people ask about it, I'm always more than happy to tell them, and suggestions on where to start, and like you're saying, think a cheap way to start out. So like the 9X radio for me, I had that for like 3 years. I only just got a Tyrannus like maybe 6-8 months ago. whatever it was.
Yeah.
But the flexibility, of, like that radio, it's like a $50 radio, right?
I'm running the 9XR, and I've had that for 4 years. It's like a $50 radio as well.
Yeah.
Just shove your modules in the back. And I got my another one, the Pro with OpenTX on it. It's just a big, fat, heavier, cheaper Tyrannus. But, like, you don't have to spend $400 and stuff on gear that people just say is the best.
Yeah. That's very true. It's very true.
And all that sort of stuff will last you ages if you look after it. Like I've still got it, and I bought a little Axon, like one of the AXNs from Hobbyking. So I'm building that up.
That's a good one.
Going to be, it's a great little platform. Our mate, I think Scott mentioned him before, Shane. He's kind of like the
mighty Axon.
Well, he's like the third dude who normally comes flying, but he's a bow hunter, and apparently it's whatever season is that he hunts at the moment. So we haven't seen him for about a month, but
he's been living in a tree somewhere.
Hiding up in trees and stalking around and stuff. But like he's got an Axon, and man, that thing it's awesome. It's a great little platform. They're like $60 or something from Hobbyking. Yep. So I got one for my 7-year-old son, and the 9X is going to be his, and I'll buddy box him on that. And so it's a 4-year-old $50 radio that's still kicking. So it's good.
Good cheap fun, and it's all because of Hobbyking having these cheaper products, and
often you got to do stuff for yourself though. Hey, like there would have been people would tell you, oh, that'll never work. Like I think I bought a wing through a mate or something, and it had Dean's connectors on it, and the dude that sold to him said, oh, you'd never do long range with a Dean's connector. I've done it several times, and you solder it up properly and you don't pull 120 amps constantly. People will tell you stuff that don't really know.
Yep.
And it's really up to you just to throw the crap in the air. And when it comes down, just work out why, and don't make those mistakes again, and don't be afraid to speak to, like, people. You should be able to tell on the internet who's full of shit. You really should be able to. You should be able to by now.
Well, like a lot of stuff that I keep telling people, it's just stuff that I've used on a daily, and, my experiences. And if it's just helping people kind of sort through all the bullshit that's out there. And like for a lot of the new guys who are interested, like you said before, when they ask, you try to help them out as best they can, but then it's up to them to make the final decision. Like if they want to go,
it's just advice, right?
Yeah, it's just advice.
You got to take it and apply it.
And so you do your best, and if they succeed, then that's great. You might have a future flying partner out there. But
that's right.
Just getting them out there, and one of the things that I kind of wanted to go to was, David, your wings, your Diablo wings that you guys are making out there, and for the guys who are getting more familiar and who want to transition into something out there. And I'm like super happy that you are making, a product for them out there. So, because shipping and all that stuff, but you're making wings out there. So I wanted to use this little portion here to kind of talk about you and what you're doing for the community out there.
Yeah, no, it's all. It's funny. Like I spend most of my day, thinking about either flying or cutting wings, and I enjoy building as much as what I do actually flying as well. So, I guess where it started, going back, I did a lot of scratch build stuff, had some failures, and then started getting a bit of success with it, and then started looking at some decent EPP wings, and having a look at guys flying on YouTube, and so came across your wings, and it just seemed that like, with a lot of wings, you'll generally get a little bit of waggle or something in it. But the dudes flying your wings, like that, it was the most solid video, I guess, that I found. And it's a combination of a few things. It's your product is awesome. The dudes building it and the guys that I found obviously did a great job building it. And conditions obviously help as well. But they were just rock solid. So I was like, right, I want a jug. So then jumped online, and I think it was like Get FPV, it might have been, was the first place I found. And so I found it and put it in my basket and then went to the shipping, and it was like $200 US shipping. I was like, oh, I can't justify this. I want one, but I can't justify spending more on shipping than the actual product itself. So, but that's just reality, yeah. Like you're going to put, a few bits of foam and whatever in a box, and like it's a big box, and they're going to send it from over to the States to here, and that's just reality. It costs money. So, going off the back of having done the whole DIY thing before, I thought, okay, well, how hard is hot wire cutting? So again, jumped on YouTube and found a few dudes doing it. The David Winterstall's got a video of like the pivot method.
Yep.
So I went out the back and I drilled a hole in the brickwork, grabbed myself some nichrome wire and some batteries, and I've got a couple of mates with CNC machines. Troy I'll tangent here. So I got a mate, Troy. He owns a Mexican restaurant, and every Wednesday night they have like an FPV meetup. So again, like it's 99% mini quad dudes, and I'm the wing dude. And so every Wednesday night, everyone comes together, and like it's open to new guys, and anyone with questions or anyone's having problems or whatever, they bring their stuff, and we all get cheap Mexican. And then when all the other customers are gone, like it's pretty much the shop is ours. So, like we fault find, we fix things, we help tune, we help whatever. So he's helped me out quite a lot with all the CNC cutting of stuff. So originally I went to him and I was like, dude, I need like a cutout of an airfoil for something that, I'm going to run a hot wire over it. So, I'm not really looking for wood or something that's going to burn. And so he cut me a couple of G10, like fiberglass airfoils. So I got the airfoils all drawn up and sent it to him in a CAD file, and he cut it out for me and sent it back. And I drilled my holes in the wall and told the missus it was for a picture hook or something. So try and keep her happy. And so then, I found a manufacturer of EPP here. The problem with EPP in Australia, and I'm not sure if it's the same with the States, but it's really here, it's only used in the automotive industry for like crash protection. Yeah. So because of that, it's only available in black. So that's what I first started, and since then I've found there's a guy who imported like a whole shipping container. Like he used to be the dude in Australia who made like remote controlled aeroplanes and stuff for all the hobby shops, and then Hobbyking came in and flooded the market with cheap product. And
gotcha.
So he's got like a whole warehouse full of like this custom made EPP, which cuts beautifully, but he's got a finite amount. So, maybe one day he'll run out and I'm going to have to look for some more. But anyway, so got my little templates, and I watched my YouTube videos and sort of measured up what I thought might work. So I started off doing like a 37-inch wing.
Yeah.
And cut the first one out and build it up. And that was that weekend, Scott. We went out to the Lost World. Again, I'll sidetrack. So because again, we like getting out of Brisbane to go flying. We put a whole weekend aside to just drive around, within 3 to 4 hours of Brisbane, and we came across this spot. They call it the Lost World. It's like Jurassic Park. Like there's mountains. And, it's gorgeous, rolling green hills and all the rest of it. So anyway, we found a camp spot out there, stayed the night, got up in the morning, and it was blowing a gale. Like it was windier than oh man, so disappointing. We sat there for like 20 minutes just going, oh, are we gonna fly? Are we gonna do this, or are we just going home? And I thought, no, look, I've built this wing. I want to see what it flies like. So I chucked it up, and man, it flew really nice. So, that was it. That was the first wing, and it actually worked. So off the back of that, I made some more, and then I found the dude with the wide EPP, and it's like chalk and cheese, like cutting the black stuff compared to the white.
Yep.
It all depends on the manufacturer and whatever, but this white stuff, the dude had it made, and like it's really nice. So cut some more, made some, and then I guess the natural progression was, okay, look, if I'm going to start making these things, how am I going to do it consistently instead of me using the hook that's drilled into the wall outside and the dodgy table that I've drilled a heap of holes into so I can put alligator clips and stuff, to charge the wire and whatever else. So then I got talking to, again, my mate Troy, the guy who helped out with the CNC stuff. And I said, look, I'm pretty keen on a CNC hot wire machine if we can do it relatively cheap. So we started Googling and found some plans. I think it's like RC Keith. Like I think he posted it like years ago.
Yeah.
But like it's nice and simple. Like so all up, there's probably 500 Australian dollars, so like maybe 300 US.
Oh, that ain't bad.
No, and one of the best aspects of this hobby is almost everything you can DIY.
Yeah.
So antennas, like everything, like it's a challenge. It's like, well, can we do this? All right, well, let's research and see if we can. And then you find out you can, so you give it a go. So he knew a bit about CNC machines and whatnot. So got all the parts, put it together, and it took a lot of playing around to get it set up with like speeds and travel and temperature settings for the wire and whatnot. But so it was kind of like going back to the start. So by this stage, I think I'd made maybe about 15 wings or so.
Yeah.
And I was pretty comfortable with the hand cutting side of it. So going to the machine, it was kind of like starting again, just with a bit more knowledge. So got the machine up, started cutting them, and I've probably, every time I post a photo or something on Facebook, like I get a lot of the mini quad dudes, sending me private messages and stuff saying, when are they available? When can we get them? And the problem I've got is, like, I work away.
Yeah.
So, time is my most precious commodity, and unfortunately, well, no, not unfortunately, when I get home, I've got a wife and 3 kids who, again, they're my priority. So, I can't just walk in from being away for 3 weeks and say, hey guys, I'm just going to go hide in the cave for 2 days and cut some wings because some dudes want some.
Yeah.
It's priorities. So the plan has always been, I'll go and I'll work, and then when I've got time off, I'll have time to actually cut the wings and box them up and all the rest of it. Unfortunately, it just hasn't panned out that I've had the time. So there's probably about 15, somewhere between 10 and 15 wings, I guess, that I've actually sold and boxed and sent out to dudes. And a few of the Impulse RC guys are flying them. Scott's got one. There's a few guys around who have got them, and they're great. They're a good size. They're so again, I guess going back to wanting the jug, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So your wing was pretty much the platform I wanted. That said, I didn't want to just copy what you did. So my wings are similar, but they've got a different airfoil. So I run like a semi-symmetrical airfoil. The sweep's different. It's a 42-inch size, which is a combination of two things. Like, firstly, I wanted a wing that would give that sort of bigger wing feel, and it would carry the GoPro and even a Fox ear facing backwards, which I sometimes run. So you can have a couple of HD cameras on. It'll fly fast or it'll fly slow. I think I did a bit of an endurance test this morning. I got about 28 kilometers worth of flying. So that's about 20 miles, I guess.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing to shy away from. That's some good numbers. That's some good distance.
Well, then the next battery did 120k an hour. It's stable at both ends of the envelope.
Man. So I'm really happy with the way that it flies, and I've tried to do a few things different. So airfoil, sweep, the size is a bit different. The motor mount, I've done a bit of a cutout and I've sunk the motor down, so the bottom of the motor actually kind of just protrudes below, so it sits like on the thrust line a bit. With the blunt section, I've done like an integrated lid. So once I cut the blunt out, then I do like another run with the CNC, which I've got to sort of manhandle it a bit when it does it, but it cuts like the lid out and then cuts the bay out. So it's all part of it. So when you paint it up, it all looks uniform, I guess.
Looks like it's a nice flush finish, and that's what makes a good looking wing a good looking wing. Like, not everything is nice and tucked in and smooth. It's just more streamlined.
Yeah, so like the lid effectively, well, the top of the lid is the airfoil. So so it's got the nice curve as it comes over and it sits flush with the wings. So yeah, look, there's been a lot of testing and a lot of trial and error, and sometimes
a lot of swearing. A
lot of swearing, absolutely.
I've seen $600 goggles go further than a plane that just failed to launch, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, that wasn't a good day. I think first, actually, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't long after I got my. I think I got the goggles and the Tyrannus like fairly close together, and I had like two different size wings that I took out. There's a private property that we fly out.
Yeah.
About 2 hours out of Brizzy, and I threw the first one up, and it was I think like
you took the ESC or something.
Yeah. So like, and I'm talking sort of not long off launch. So I sort of launched it up, and within 5 seconds I was up, and had wide open throttle, and it just died and turned and nosed in. So I was a bit sad about that. And then I had another, like a bigger size one, and I've launched that, and I can't remember whatever happened. That ended up in the ground within about 20 seconds as well. So I've got up off my chair, I've backhand thrown my transmitter somewhere, I've pulled my goggles off my head, and as I've leant back to almost like a baseball pitch throw them, all I heard was Scott say, "David, no!" And no, that was too late. I was throwing him into a barbed wire fence. Oh man, I was angry,
dude.
But it's all trial and error. So, it's there has been. I've probably cut and tested maybe about 15 wings. I'm going to say somewhere about that, and even sometimes like. you might make like a small change to try and achieve something specific. So whether it be a bit more speed or, whatever it is that you're trying to change with the airfoil and the sweep and whatever. Yeah. And they can be minute changes, but they can make a big difference. Like once I changed the sweep by about 1.5 degrees, and I moved like the thickest point. I can't remember if it was forward or back or whatever, but I moved that only a couple of percentage, maybe back. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, the thing would just tip stall. Like it was tip stalling everywhere. So. There's been a lot of trial and error, and a lot of money that's gone into foam and electronics and stuff like that to get it to the point where I can now hand a kit to someone and I can say, use this battery, use these servos, put your GoPro on, and this is the CG mark. If you do that, it will fly fantastic. So I guess like I'm probably sort of like you 3 to 4 years ago. I guess like I'm at the point where I've got something that I'm happy with, and I'm happy for people to have it. Yeah. With some guidance, but like I'm at the start of that. So like I don't have like all these cool neck straps with stuff and your stickers and all the cool merch that goes with it. But that's all stuff that hopefully will come. Yeah. So, it's just, but then even trying to source products, like, I think I sent you a message about the laminate, and it turns out in Australia, we use a different type of laminate. So I bought a roll here, and it's hard when you're testing because you buy 100 meters of this stuff and you peel it off and you try it and you realize it's no good, and you've spent $100. Yeah. On 100 meters of laminate that you're going to be covering your kids' books for the next 10 years. So, like it's hard. So, I flicked you a message and you were kind enough to tell me, where you get yours from. And, it gets back to the shipping. So, I find the link and I put the roll in the basket, and then I go to check out, and it's like $120 for standard shipping. I'm like, oh, man. It's like it's hard to find stuff that is going to work. So, there is a lot of time, effort, and money that goes into, I guess, the R&D side of it. Yep. To come up with a product that you're happy with, and I guess the other side of that is when you then go to sell it, you need to come up with a price that is competitive within the market. Yeah. But is also reflective of the R&D and the time and the effort, and the fact that, like yourself, I'm a dude with stuff in my garage, and my wife's pissed off because she can't get a new car in the garage because it's full of my hobby. Yeah. Like this is not replacing my income. Like I've still got a full-time job. So, there has to be a way to try and recoup, some of the investment I've made to come up with a product for the market here. And like if they can get something here that costs $30 or $40 cheaper because of the shipping, then the average punter here wins because they've saved a bit of money. I've learned a shitload along the way and enjoyed it, and like I said, I enjoy building as much as I do flying. So it's good for me, it's good for them. I keep spamming all the Facebook groups locally here with wing stuff just to try and promote it, and so it's good. I think I'm kind of at the point where I've sent a few out. Up until recently, the only people who have had my wings are people who I know and that I was comfortable could build wings and could fly them. Because the last thing you want to be doing is taking money off someone. Like, I don't have build videos and stuff. Again, like it's on the checklist of things to do with the cool neck straps and all that sort of stuff. But again, like it's time. And when I'm here and all I want to do is make them or fly them. So sitting down to then do a proper build video, So generally, like I'll just, for the guys who I have sent wings out to who I don't know, I just pretty much send them a link to your Juggernaut build. And I'm like, dude, it's an EPP wing. It's a little bit different size. There's a few differences with it, like the motor mount, whatever else. But generally, you follow this and, here's the glue. Here you cut out bays, you cut out whatever.
Yeah.
And just research. Everyone does stuff differently. Like, even the Flash Gangsters and, the Team wing builds and things like that. There's plenty of build videos out there, and they're all probably going to be done a hell of a lot better than what I can do it.
Your style and the way you do it is what makes your builds unique and to that aircraft. And there's like 100 ways to do one thing, and it's good to hear you express yourself and let people know where you started and the amount of time that you've been doing this. It's great, especially from on the other side, across the pond, that you're making these, and your steps in the way that you're doing it is the way like I was doing it back in the day, and other guys back in the day. So your methods, don't worry about the methods. It's people are going to learn it regardless. And the cool thing about it is that it all pieces together just fine in the end. You hit the CG, you do the layout correctly, and you're golden. And it's great. And having you tell your story about your wings, especially in Australia, it's great. I don't think anyone's gonna be worried about it at all. And plus, they know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, and I'm fairly active in most of the Facebook groups. But it's funny because one of your early podcasts I downloaded, it was when you were like, I think you were like going through all the different wing types or different manufacturers and whatnot. And I downloaded the podcast, and I was about to jump on a plane and come home. And so I've sat down and I'm listening, and you're listing off all the different manufacturers, and then you've gone, and in Australia, and I'm thinking, oh, dang, there's someone else doing it. All right, here we go. There you go. I got this buddy, David Foster. And I'm like, everyone, that's me. He's talking about no one knew what I was talking about. So I got all excited. Like, it was, and, I really, I appreciate the support that I get from yourself. And, like I said, it's a hobby job for me. Like, as much as I would love for it to be something more, and I'd love to just take 6 months off and invest the time to try and, make something more of it. Reality for me is at the moment, like, it's a hobby job that I'll get to, when I get spare time, and I'll start getting some more kits out there soon. And, hopefully just spread the good word on fixed wing flying in Australia, because like I said, the mini quad community is huge. And look, don't get me wrong, man, I got mini quads, and some of the most fun times that we've had have been like with little mini quads, but I don't know, it's 5 minutes of oh man, I'll tangent again. So, like, I started getting, I got a mini quad, right? And because I travel so much for work, I was like, sweet. It fits in my bag. It's easy. It's portable. And I had about 3 or 4 trips where I swear every time I put a battery in the thing, it cost me $100.
Oh.
Like, but like we were joking about before, like it's, you got to flash the speedies. You got to have the latest blah, 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 because it's cool and everyone's got it. So, you're doing it and you're flashing stuff. And then, just, man, every time, like, I'd fly it. It would go up and I'd fly somewhere, and then it'd either fall out of the sky or I'd hit something. When I hit something, the motor's dead now, and I'm stuck, 2,000 kilometers from home with this broken thing that I've just now got to lug around with me. So,
well, that's why I wanted to do this. this was kind of like, you know, a lot of it was I wanted to do something. I wanted to venture out and try it. Like I said in the previous stuff before, like I had all the gear. It was just me learning how to do it. And then once I figured out how to do it, well, I'm still learning, but I wanted to get guys, you know, like you, like Scott, like Yuski, like Elvon, Ryan, all those guys out there, right? That the mini quad community is like huge, and that's all like mini quad. Oh, what's your build? What's your PIDs? What motors you like? Are you a finger or are you a fucker? You know, like what do you like to do? And I got tired of doing that. I got tired of listening and not having an outlet for us, right? For us fixed wing guys. Well, whether it be like a Sky Hunter, you know, the Sky Mule, Cub, fixed, you know, just us fixed wing guys, you know, Delta wing, whatever. I wanted something for us and getting, you know, our own thing going. And like, fuck mini quads. Mini quads are everywhere. I'm just fucking around and saying it, but fuck mini quads. This is for us. Like, I want to do this for us fixed wing guys. And, you know, mini quad guys, I'm like, oh, he's talking shit. No, you freaking snowflake fucker. This is for us. That's what I want to do this for. You know, listening to your stories and showing like your progress. Like that's so freaking interesting. Like I didn't say anything, you know, because I was just listening. Like, holy shit! Like this is a good story.
Sorry if I ran.
No. Like I said, this is for you guys. Like this is for you guys to tell me the story. I'm gonna sit back and we're gonna record it on the track, and then we're gonna upload it for everyone can hear your story, so they can find you and they can, you know, listen to you, or if they're in your area, they can come track you down, and you know, maybe you can build them a wing, or whatever. Maybe they need your knowledge, right? They're gonna come and find you. So that's what it's all about. Like this isn't sponsored by, you know, all the other manufacturers out there. This is sponsored, you know, like me, the lone guy doing this for you guys. Like, you know, it's all about you guys right now. And, you know, feel free. Don't worry about rambling. And I want more people to understand that there's a lot of guys out there who are doing like the stuff that we were doing back in the day. And
yeah, no, absolutely, man. And look, just, yeah, huge props to yourself. Like, you know, you work, you're doing this in your garage, you've got a family, you're taking the time out to, you know, pretty much introduce the characters of, you know, this hobby and the sport. And the dudes that, you know, like over in Australia here, we don't have access to a lot of the, well, we're not familiar with the guys over in the States, apart from what we see on Facebook and Instagram and all the rest of it. So, man, I got to say, like the last, I don't know what, how long have you been doing this now? Like a month or maybe 6 weeks? I don't know. I lose track. But like every time a new episode comes up on my podcast feed thing, I get excited and I know that, you know, I've got, well, it depends on who's on, but sometimes it's, you know, a good couple of hours of hearing stories and learning about people that all I know of is their posts on Instagram. And
they could be a 14-year-old kid for all you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you know, like it's a great forum, and you know, the effort that you're going to put it out there. You know, Scott and I have talked about it before. Like you are such a good ambassador for this hobby and the sport and all the rest of it. And you know, not to get all, let's, you know, bring it in and hug it out and stuff. But like, it's great. It's like, I mean, it's a forum for wing guys to promote it, and you know, hopefully, like if a few of the mini quad guys start listening and get interested, and you know, things like your podcast on parts and different wings and things like that, like it's all helpful. Like it's good, clean, fun. It's such a supportive community, and it's great to have an outlet, you know, that brings all that together.
And there's no PIDs.
With no PIDs.
With no PIDs.
No.
No, Peter, you don't have to flash a thing. You buy the shit and you solder it to get. You can plug stuff in now. Have you heard of just plugging stuff in? It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Just send all your complaints. If the mini quad guys are, if they have any complaints, just send them to me. I'll deal with you. But hey, I get mini quads, flyers on here, and that's fine. But like I said before, we fixed wing guys, this is our spot. Like, let's, this is our corner, and that's what I wanted to do the most, because it's all mini quads, it's all UAV tech. Everything is like, multi-rotor this. Oh, the new DJI. Fuck, I don't want to hear about DJI. All that shit that we see on the internet is all like big rotor type shit. Which is, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying it just to make a point here. It's populated by the multi-quad genre. I don't know any other regular fixed wing sourcing podcast, radio, whatever, for us. So that's why I like, one of the things I want to do it for is for us. It's for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, look, and we're a big part of the community too. We're not as vocal as
because we're not 14 and we're not know bloody everything, and that's the problem. Is we're gonna have to wait for the current mini quadders to get about 10 years older and just stop and listen and not kind of just go super excited and just throw money at everything, because you don't have to with a wing. And I think there's this illusion that if it doesn't have this, it can't be fun, because I'm not buying 4 motors, I'm not buying gold tops, I'm not buying, I don't know, I'm just, that's about as much as I know about what goes on, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think lots of people, the mini quad guys, like there's a guy I fly with, he's like a 45-year-old doctor, drives a BMW mini quads. He used to fly full-scale glides, but he's recently bought one of those Tundras from Hobbyking. He's like, oh, how good is this? I'm just flying. I'm not having to kind of freak out, I don't have to tune, that sort of stuff. And that's fun for a change.
One of the things that we went on, like the quick recap real quick, but, when I did the drone Hawaii Paradise Tour in Hawaii, and then the Las Vegas Paradise Tours, when we went with, a lot of the mini quad guys, a lot of them, I try to stay in touch with them still. But my wings were flying during the daytime and parked at night. I didn't touch them. And like the guys, they were all soldering, they were building, they were redoing, whatever. And, when we went to Las Vegas, the same thing. I just put my wings against the wall and left them there. And everyone was building, charging. Yeah, like we were done. But they were like redoing stuff. They were doing projects. And I'm like, damn it, I'm enjoying myself just walking around. And
in the jacuzzi.
I didn't go to the jacuzzi. That's how you get pink eye. I was just kind of like, just enjoying, everyone. And, yes, I was interacting with the mini quad guys, and it was fun. Like, I was able to, talk with them on a regular level. And I wasn't building with my head down. I was communicating, and it was a lot of fun. So I see that as a plus. Like us guys, we have limited repairs and limited mechanical parts on there to maintain, and no computers necessary. So
necessary.
It was nice. It's a nice. Yeah. It's a nice tool to have.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, guys, you guys feeling pretty good?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm just honored to be talking to you, mate. Like it's, Dave had his go. It really sort of, I don't know, because there's a few guys out. I mean, Dave and I have had Zephyrs, secondhand Zephyrs. Dave's was reasonably successful. Mine, like we knew a few guys that had Zephyrs and said, you need to know what you're doing, dude. So when I got one that was already built, I was like 2/3 done. Yeah. But it was a mole to launch.
Yeah.
And it tip stalled at about 55, 60K an hour. And I've fucking never been in I never shit myself as much as that, you know. You know, and we've had other few different things, and it's definitely been your kind of grassrootsy, down to earth, just flying, because how good is just flying? But and watching Dave come from, because I think one day, that same day we were on the beach, I had Tech Sumo, and it was really windy, and I was just kind of like sloping along we had plenty of beers, and I was sloping back and forth across this dune, and Dave's got his camera out, and, you know, and that was it. And I watched Dave. Probably my favourite story is he kind of went more towards, we used to build quads, you know, about 450 size out, bits of timber from the hardware store and KK2s and stuff. And then he bought out like his 5th Bixler or something, I don't know. And he put a KK2 in it with, I think he flashed it with like Aero, which is like stabilizer soft firmware for fixed wing on a KK2. And he threw it up and it sputtered in, and he kind of looked at me and said something along the lines of, I fucking hate this shit. And I should have landed. I should have walked away. Yeah. And he's like, I'm done. I'm just sticking with multi-rows. They work good. And I'm like, stop. Just chill out for a second. So we tore the KK2 out. We wrapped them out. 3 rolls of lecky tape around the nose. Got something like CG. And then it flew. And it flew. You know, it doesn't have to fly great when your biggest success is about 12 feet. Yeah. And it flew great. And it's that getting over those little hurdles of, my first plane was this little thing from Hobbyking that my wife bought me, and everything was reversed, and it had no expo in this cheap shit-ass radio, and it flew for about 7 seconds, and I was a 40, maybe 39-year-old man that nearly cried. You know, it's an emotional experience when your first plane goes in. But just hanging out with the right people and just going, it's just a fucking toy plane, dude. Just fix it. Oh, what if this happens? You're overthinking it, buddy. It is going to happen. But just enjoy the time between now and when that occurs, and just get on with it. Just get on with it. Enjoy your toy planes. Yeah, it's all you got to do. And watching your guys, everybody that flies your planes, I'd spin out like people that you've had on your podcast. I'm like, I can't remember who it was, Ty, you know, talking about hanging out with Yuski and that, and throwing wings off cliffs and scaling cliffs to recover wings and shit, and that's the adventure, you know. And the other guy that was on before, you know, he's talking about, you know, just loading his Jeep up. Dave and I will do that. All the spots we've got to fly out of town, we're right, 3 days. We just get in the car. Dave loves driving. We'll drive for 3 days and find nothing. But, you know, you get out of town and you make more of the hobby than just punching money into it. You know, that's what I really want to see people do, is just have some goddamn fun. Yeah. Oh, because it is all about fun. It's all about fun. Yep.
That's exactly. It's freaking. It puts a nice smile on your face
when it's good, eh? Like we walked away this morning with just the biggest buzz. You either have a smile or you throw $700 at the goggles. It's one or the other.
They still work.
Shot put in the fat sharks.
Yeah. Further than the wing.
You don't need to rub it in.
Oh shoot! Well,
it's all good fun.
I appreciate you guys and taking the time, and like I said before, you know, setting it up to get you guys on here. And
pleasure's ours, mate, for sure. Definitely pleasure's ours.
I appreciate it, man, because you know, a lot of the stories, some of them just get unheard of, and you know, bringing it to light. So it's just good. So I appreciate.
I think our story is a very average and common story. There's lots of, you know, 38 to, well, how old are you, David? 30-something, 36 to 45-year-olds are just out there just enjoying a hobby, not racing, not throwing thousands of dollars at. Yeah, well, you know, so, and that's what's important, is people feel part of it, because it's easy, like you said, to look at forums and look at Facebook, which I'm not part of, but look at all that stuff and go, oh, that looks just really fucking childish and complicated. I don't think I want a part of that at all. And that's not about that's not just everybody, but, you know, like Facebook in general social media in general is childish and complicated.
Oh, yeah.
And to hear normal guys like us with kids, and, you know, there's been another significant change in probably our success is probably a year or two ago, we stopped, you know, soldering up APMs at 2 a.m. after 3 scotches, because that's a surefire way to throw money down the drain. Yeah. When you start going, I'm too tired to work on my plane. It doesn't actually have to be working tonight. I can do this tomorrow. And once you get over that sort of honeymoon period of the hobby and start just chilling out and enjoying it, it all just falls together. But you got to be patient. You got to be patient.
Yes,
and you got to take people's advice.
Yes, you do. You got to be patient, man. It's the only way, because if you're not a patient person, this hobby will continue to create frustration for you, and it'll win. It always does.
Yeah,
because there's always problems.
Yeah.
So it's there. It's just how you react with it. So,
and friends, you got to have good friends by your side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because there's people that that as soon as something goes wrong, they're like, "Oh, what just happened?" And all you want to do is say, "Get the fuck out of my face." Whereas Dave and I don't do that. You have this little weird telepathic thing where you're like, "Oh, dude," you sort of just look across the paddock, and you don't have to, So you just finding the right people that are sort of sympathetic with your cause and understand. Like it blows me away to me. I've said to you, I'm pretty sure you and Dave are from the same military experiment to make like robo dads, because I don't know where you get the time to do all this stuff, and now you do this on top of it, and now you got 2 Instagram feeds to look after.
I got 3.
Oh man! Whoa, you got a sneaky one. What's the sneaky one?
Well, I got my regular one, right, and then I got the podcast one, and then I got the Sweepwings one, the main one. So
right,
but,
dang.
Hey, I've seen, believe it or not, I've seen other companies. They have the same thing, and that's how they work it. They do. They have like a racing event organization type deal. And then, they'll post other people's, and they'll post theirs. Other people's, and they'll post theirs. So, I'm just using what they're using. It's not against the law.
No, I don't know how you managed to keep your head around it. That's all.
Yeah. Especially, I do all my modifications when I'm on the toilet. So, little sit down time.
That's good.
Post.
That's place to do it.
Next time I read any of your posts, I'll be like, "Who was taking a fucking shit when he's like this?"
You're
Great.
Well, that's how you gotta roll in this hobby. You just gotta keep a light heart and always keep a smile on, and don't let it bug you.
And talking about competition and stuff, as much as Dave and I would love to see, as a hobby, there's just that deterrence of just being with people, because you sort of, it's probably like any sport, like every 12-year-old surfer thinks, "Oh, I'd love to compete. I'd love to be," but as soon as you sort of get into that environment, does it become fun? Dave and I talked about, professional UAVs, and the regulations have changed in Australia dramatically in the last couple of years. Dave was saying, there's 600 operators that can go out and buy a Phantom or a Mavic. They're registered businesses now. Like this is not that big a state compared to, you guys.
Yeah.
So as soon as you start getting involved in that, and we've only got X time, and you want to just go out and you want to enjoy it. So trying to find enough people that can each put in that 15%. You look at Alex and the other guys that are sort of doing that. They're all so motivated. They're all so focused, and they've all got so much time, and they're doing it properly. And what I see is they're laying it down. They're going, "This is how it's done. Take it or leave it." This is not for negotiation. We're the ones putting our own money and our own time into it.
Yeah.
So come and enjoy the event. If you don't want to enjoy the event, turn around the front gate and go home, because it's only about having fun and racing wings here.
Yep.
And that's kind of that's the drive. If you could get something like that over here and not have people bring that kind of this isn't working or that isn't working and sandbagging and stuff.
Yeah,
it could be done. But like anything, you'll do it in the States, and 15 years later, we'll do it here in Australia in the colony, and it'll happen. It'll be fine.
Just little baby steps, I guess. But damn it, I just wish it would happen with a little bit more momentum. So. Well, shoot, guys. You guys feel pretty good about the episode?
Yeah, mate.
I'll put your guys' links in the show notes, so they, if guys have any questions, if they want to follow you, or if they need some help, or whatever, they'll be able to find you there.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. And but like pretty much everyone else that you've had on the show, we're pretty helpful and open sort of dude. So, anyone's got questions or whatever, or locally to Australia, then then yeah, like shoot us emails or PMs on Instagram or whatever, and we'll help where we can, and we'll throw our advice and take it or leave it, and hopefully we just move forward as a hobby and everyone's having fun.
Yeah, if we're not in Australia, we'll tell you to buy a Juggernaut.
Which I do.
Which I do all the time.
I keep getting messages like from dudes over in the States like, hey man, I like your wings. When can I buy one? I'm like, yeah, just look up SweepwingsRC.com. And
you can find me at.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
No, it's all good, but yeah, no, man, just really appreciate having us on, and it's just good to talk some shit and keep it lighthearted, and that's where it's at. Happy days.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you guys, David and Scott. I appreciate you taking the time and letting us kind of chat and then record it so we can put it in Instagram, or not Instagram, but a podcast, and then you guys can listen it later. Actually, whenever you really want, and you can tell your friends too.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'll be spamming all the Facebook mini quad groups over here with it. Don't worry about that. So you might get some new followers, or I might get some hate mail, one or the other, or both.
Well, any press is good press, so it's good.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, hey, you guys want to do a little quick shout out to anyone, your flying buddies, or your company, anything you want to do, quick shout out or whatever.
Yeah, Shane, we've mentioned a couple of times. Where are you, man? Like, you're out there somewhere in a tree, hunting stuff. It's the stories he tells. He leaves his the ghillie suit, makes you look like the tree and stuff. He leaves it in a bag full of poo for 6 months. So when he gets out there, the deer can't find him and all that sort of shit. So Shane, come home. And Doug knows who he is. I don't know how you feel, but Andre and Chris and Mike over at RC After Hours now, between that podcast and your podcast, that keeps me sane. So, those guys are pretty keen on the sort of the way you guys go about business. Andre's got a couple of your wings. Build the wings, Andre. Build them. So, yeah.
He's taking his
Appreciate
time.
everything. Yeah. Keeps blaming the snow and stuff, but who knows.
David, anything
thanks,
from
mate.
you?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Look, just I'm pretty lucky to have a few dudes, surrounding me as far as the development of my stuff goes. Much like you with Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys who've got some skill, with CAD drawings and CNC machines and whatever else. So I'll have to send him the link because I know he's not the podcast listening sort of dude, but Troy got his Mexican restaurant down at Beanley. So anyone in Australia who's listening, Serrano's Mexican Cantina.
Mm-hmm.
I drive over an hour to go for the FPV stuff, but the food is amazing. It's good. So go hit him up, go support him. There's also another dude, Pete. He goes, I think he's APM11 on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's another dude. He lives a bit closer to me, and he's helped me out. He's cut a few bits and pieces when I'm trying to prototype stuff, and big shout out again to you for plenty of inspiration and just providing an outlet for dudes. Don't
want mini quads.
You just had to get that in there, but no,
it's all for fun.
Yeah,
it is. They're fucking awesome pilots, those dudes. They're Jedi's and shit.
Oh, you're backtracking now. Oh, I love it. But man. Again, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it, and appreciate the support. And you're always commenting on stuff on Instagram and stuff. So thank you.
Yeah. And you got two places to stay when you come over to Australia, mate.
Sweet.
So get your ass over here.
Excellent.
Hawaii, what a dump. Come over here.
Come over there. Where the spiders will freaking sting you and eat your body.
Biggest,
all the droppers.
Did you not hear? We've got the biggest sand island in the world.
The what?
Yeah. This is what Dave said at the beginning.
The
sand
biggest
island.
Sand yeah.
In the world, man. How good's that?
Sand dollar?
No,
island.
Oh, okay. I remember
it's
seeing
probably full of spiders and it's probably full of spiders and drop bears and deadly kangaroos anyway. So stay clear. So,
I remember seeing some animal channel where the spider would fling itself like a cartwheel down these like sand dunes, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So if you see that chasing you, fuck, that's scarier than hell.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't do spiders. I get my 9-year-old daughter to kill them. I do not do spiders.
Oh shoot! All right, guys. Well, hey,
good times.
You guys are welcome back anytime. I'm gonna tell that to everybody. You guys are